Alright, so... Of course, starting at the house as usual. And what is the plan for today? So the plan for today is first to get away from the birds, because they are cute briefly and then annoying. Hop in my car and go to the workshop. And let's take a look at the quest book and some of the recipes that I have pinned, because I have been doing some preparation to kind of speed things along. Let me turn the music down just a little bit more. Maybe down to there. And back to the game. There we go. And let's come over here. And let's take a look at the quest book. Just kind of a reminder. I'm just going to ignore. I think what we'll do, definitely before we kind of cap off the pack, we'll claim all the things that are still unclaimed. But for now, let's focus on what's next. So we have this whole thing about making an industrial grinder, and it's a multi-block, so we have to make these other blocks as well to be able to process the iridium. So the iridium is made with the industrial grinder from iridium ore, which we got a bunch of last stream. We went to the Mercury, and we got a bunch of iridium ore from Mercury. And then we have the ability to get lots of Viridium, because we built a factory very early on making Viridium. And we are crushing it, and we have a bunch of olivine dust as well. We've been accumulating it. One of the things I did earlier was the train that we had set up to go and deliver copper to the metal processing, the automated foundry for our brass factory. That train had a bunch of olivine accumulated, so I got that extracted from the train. So that's all set up and ready to go as well. So we'll need to make olivine sheets, and that gets us to data storage ships. And there's also another path here where we need to process the calorite that we also got, make pens, and make a new kind of a circuit, an industrial computing unit. So there's some work there. We have some lithium. I suspect we'll need more. We'll need some more machine parts. We'll make some calorite pens, you know, the whole thing. We'll probably not even try to do this by hand. We'll set up the automation just to make it easy. One of the things I did since the last stream is I did automate the advanced integration circuit upstairs in the workshop in this building that we're in. So that is good, but we'll continue on and make the next one. And that'll get us kind of to the data storage chip, which then we need to then make the matter fabricator. Now this looks like a lot of stuff, but we made some of these things before. The industrial machine frame just needs machine parts and advanced machine frame, which we've made these. Maybe we have enough lead to see us through, we'll see. We might have to do something about that. And that gets us to making refined shimmer, finally. Something we've not been able to do this whole time. Kept on seeing it in recipes, but couldn't make it. And then we need to make a recycler too, I believe, to make scrap. And from there, there's a few different materials. So this is where we get, potentially we could get some of this stuff done today, but I don't imagine that we'll be able to make the fusion setup today. And that's really what's gonna then unlock the subatomic ingot, which is the big thing in the fusion reactor to make with refined radiance and shadow steel. That's going to then allow us to make the matter condenser for AE2, to make the singularities, and finally the astral singularity. And this is going to be our milestone for the pack, because currently it's not possible to craft the calorite rocket. So we won't be able to do this, I believe. I could be wrong. Like, the astral singularity has no uses. The refined shimmer. You can make a bunch of things. many things with the refined shimmer, as it turns out. Quantum solar panel. Okay, that's how you make chromatic compounds. But the calorite rocket, I believe, is not obtainable currently. The tier 4 rocket. That makes sense. There's nowhere extra right now in the pack that's part of kind of the quest to do, as I said before. So that is kind of a summary of where we're at. And so let's get started. So, like I said, that was a summary. Now let's get into the meat of the matter, which is that we have all these things we need to make to actually then progress. So one of the things I wanted to make was the chemical reactor. That's going to make it easier for us to make the 60K sodium potassium coolant cells that we need for the engines, which is bookmarked here, engines, because we need those coolant cells for that, and it would be really handy to have a chemical reactor. And we had at one point all of the parts for that. Okay, so we need some extractors. So we need 8 tree taps. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably need more later, but for now. And then we need, what was that? Basic machine frame. So let's go grab a couple of those. We have 6. Some of the stuff I've been doing behind the scenes, gathering resources. Some of the stuff I've just dumped directly into the ME system. Some things I've left to go back and fetch, so we'll see how that all plays out. And then chemical reactor needs Invar plate. Okay, here we go. So Invar plate, we need Invar ingots. Invar ingots are made with the alloy smelter. That's right. So the alloy smelter combines iron and desh plates to make Invar. So this is something we've not done, but it is bookmarked here. It was bookmarked here. I guess I unbookmarked it accidentally. Alloy smelter. Unless I made it. I didn't make it, did I? Oh, well, there you go. I'm glad I didn't try remaking it. Okay, so now we have an alloy smelter. We'll pop this right here. Let's get another cable. A gold one to match. Here we go. And alloy smelter. All right, so now we need iron and dash. I believe we already have dash plates, so we'll grab some of these. For the chemical reactor, we need 4 Invar plates. Each Invar plate is 1 ingot, and an ingot is so we need at least 4 iron and 2 plates. Let's do 6 and 3. There we go. We'll have some in case we need it. Of course, we can always add more later. So while this is going, I did make an industrial electrolyzer, and that is to go in the blast furnace, which I've already pre-prepared. So here is the industrial blast furnace, and you can see there's already 16 steel dust in there. And let's take a look at this. So it's a multi-block structure. We have a bunch of standard machine casings with this in front, and this takes carbon cells. Maybe we have some over here. Yep. Now the industrial electrolyzer is used to take coal dust and put it into cells, so that's why I wanted that there. So let's I think this slot, auto input, output there, so that I get that going. And then we need empty cells. Of course, I don't have a bunch of empty cells on me. Maybe there's some over here, but I think maybe not. There we go. I'll take 8 to start. We'll put those empty cells there. And we'll configure this slot to input from the top. Configure this to output to the bottom. Auto output. And there we go. Now this will automatically make the carbon cells that we need. Like so. There we go. And let's see, I think we can configure the output here. There we go. Now, as long as we supply cells for both of these, and we supply coal dust and iron, then we will be making lots and lots of steel. The steel recipe with this setup is much more efficient than what we were doing before with mixing. With mixing with heat, it was 6 iron and 4 coal dust to make 1 steel dust. Whereas with the blast furnace, it is essentially 1 piece of coal and 1, I think, maybe a block of iron to make 4 steel dust. I'm pretty sure this is quite a bit more efficient. There we go. So we have another 4 right there. Of course, the steel dust has to be superheated, and with the setup here, which we can do. And we are going to need lots of steel, so that's why we have this going. So I get distracted, right? So we were working on the chemical reactor. It's like a cooking show where you have all the ingredients pre-prepared, and the show is like combining them all together. That's the vibe right now. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to make 4 plates. So that will take a minute. Okay, so we can unbookmark the Invar plate and sheet. We're going to make this chemical reactor. The chemical reactor is going to let us combine 2 potassium cells and 2 sodium cells to make our coolant cell. And of course, the coolant cell is needed to make the engine. Now, I had started to make not really an automated setup, but kind of a little bit easier to manage setup here for making the engine, right? So we have a precision mechanism, and then we put in a motor, a coolant cell, and a capacitor. How many engines do we need is a question. So I think we wanted to make, looks like the main thing I wanted to make here was the industrial grinder. So for that we need 3 engines. So we have 3 precision mechanisms. We need 3 motors. Do I have motors? Not in there. Maybe in the ME system? Motor. Alright. Double what I need. Great. Is the compressor done? Yes. Alright. And you can see I'm not getting any quest completions or anything. This is kind of a not something essential. Something that's just going to make things a little easier than trying to transfer the potassium and sodium liquids into buckets. Now, where am I going to put this? I guess really anywhere. I could put this downstairs, but we're producing the liquids over here, so I might as well put this right there. Get some power. And then if we have nothing. If we had, let's see, we don't need the carbon or molten iron cells bookmarked anymore. So we need sodium and potassium. So the potassium you get from the electrolyzer. Right, both are from the electrolyzer. One is from saltpeter dust with empty cells. And the other one is also in the electrolyzer with something. One of the things. Oh yeah, clay dust. Clay and saltpeter. Okay. So we have saltpeter. We can put that into the electrolyzer. And we're gonna probably need more saltpeter. We'll have to look into that. But we're also going to need clay dust Fortunately, that was something I had prepared much of. Probably more than we need. And... Yep. Alright. So focused on getting that I forgot that the thing I really need to get right now is cells. Lots and lots of cells. Fortunately, we have lots of 10. Have fuel cells in here too, and other things, but okay. So that'll be a start. We can make some more cells if we need them. There we go. So that'll take a minute to process. Potentially we can make an additional industrial electrolyzer so that we can parallelize the saltpeter production, or sorry, the potassium and sodium productions. That could be an option. Here, also more saltpeter, more coal dust from processing soul sand. All right, so that was blocked because there was so much sand and such in it. There we go. All right, so this will take a little bit to get us some more. Is it potassium from saltpeter? Yep. Okay. So you can put away the rest of the Invar. We can put the motors into place. If you're wondering what the raw silver is for, I had been working on something. Processing limestone dust, right? And got as far as getting the raw silver from that process. I also have this calorite ore. Going to be processing a little bit once we make the... Okay, don't need that anymore. And once we make the industrial grinder, then we can use that to process the rest of the calorite that we got on Mercury. So we have a lot to process at once. The other thing we needed here, right, to make the industrial grinder is these diamond grinding heads. And so these are diamond dust and diamonds. So it's 3 of these, but you get 3 per craft. So we just need 4 diamond dust and a diamond. I've already prepared that in advance. And then we need 4 steel ingots. I'm pretty sure we didn't have any steel when I was looking at this earlier, but fortunately, now we have steel dust. So we just need some fuel. We just need a bucket or 2. Didn't I put 2 buckets in there? Where did the other bucket go? Ah. Okay. Great. So then, yeah, I've still not hooked this up to power, so it's hand cranked, but so it goes. Give me steel. All right. Molten steel. Oops. Let's keep cranking while we still have the heat. Try to process as much as we can with that 1 fuel bucket. I'm about to run out of hunger though. It may be problematic. I should probably get like a motor and hook it up to power. That might be worth it. Yeah, I feel like especially in retrospect, there are things that I'm hesitant to do because I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend the time automating things. That instead, I spend a much time doing it kind of one-off things that I probably should have automated. Okay, but now we definitely have enough steel. So while I'm here, we can automate this a little bit. Right, so if we take the steel dust, we lock that, and we say we output to the left, auto output. Then it goes in the basin. And then, hey, look at that. Now we have 18 steel ingots. It's pretty nice. Oh, right. Let's craft one back, though, so we can temporarily put it in there and lock that. And we can input from the right, auto input. So we take that out, and we can put this back in the basin. Oh, I missed. Can I click this back into the basin? I can. And it doesn't pull it out there. I suspect it might actually pull it out if it were actually freshly poured. We also need a lever. Where is my there it is. Do I have any levers prepared? One. Perfect. Does that? Yeah, that activates that. Good. Alright, so now we've potentially automated steel, except for the part where we need to hand crank this. Let's fix that. Cog and a motor. Electric motor. Okay. Okay, well, we'll get to that eventually. That can be a next thing. It's fine. We have the steel we need. That's the important part. Also, I have been feeding some additional materials in our electron tube redstone chip assembly line. Yeah, those are words. And there we go. There's some more electron tubes. 47. Might come in handy. Like we just saw the electric motor need an electron tube. It's a very fancy electric motor. Okay. What do? Let's go check on the potassium production. So we have 4 potassium cells. So we can put that in the chemical reactor there. And we needed sodium, right? Do we have any sodium? I think not yet. Okay. How much saltpeter does this take? 10? Okay, and then the clay dust, we need... Oh, I see. So to get 4 sodium cells, we need a stack of clay dust. Great. Perfect. We'll give this a little bit to process. And the other thing we can do once we get the clay dust start to process is that we can work on these diamond grinding heads. Okay, there we go. And there and there. Now that's going. We got some extra potassium there. And off we go. Grinding head time. Okay. There we go. Just like that. With steel left over. And now we need those 3 engines that we're working on. That's what we're making the coolant cells for. And advanced machine frame. So for this we need a basic machine frame and a lead plate. So machine frame, we have some of those. And lead plate. We got one of those. We can't wrench this, unfortunately. I think we just have to pick this. There we go. Drop that in our ME system, along with those extra cables. And now we should see the only thing we have left to make the industrial grinder are the 3 engines. And again, the industrial grinder is required because that's what's going to allow us to process the iridium. Also interesting, so you can process a lead ingot into raw lead. But then raw lead can be processed into 1.33 crushed lead ore. And each crushed lead ore is 1 ingot and 4 nuggets. So does the industrial grinder become a perpetual material manufacturing machine? Yeah. I mean, it sucks energy. So the raw iridium can be blast furnaced into... Okay. So we don't have anything that will take raw iridium and turn it back into multiples. There's probably not a recipe for mercury iridium ore either. Okay. Huh. I'm confused. Oh, it is a liquid. There is a liquid that goes in. What? Ooh. Okay, okay. Interesting. So when I was seeing that before, where we were processing, say, silver, there's a liquid. It's mercury. We would need mercury. Okay, that would get complicated. That's interesting. Anyway, so if we want to process this iridium ore, though, we just need water. If we used mercury, we could potentially get extra raw iridium. But that's not going to happen. So water it is. Okay. I learned something. Yeah. Alright, are we done processing the clay? Yes. And we also got some lazurite and some lithium. Alright, so if we put 4 sodium and 4 potassium into the chemical reactor, 2 and 2 gives 1. So we still... I think we need a little bit more. Don't have enough empty cells. Yeah, so we have 2 there. We want to make 2 more sodium cells. It's good that we have all this lithium, though, for what's coming next. But we need some more empty cells to make... keep on running into stuff. To make more coolant. Because we need 3 to make 3 engines. Cells. Fortunately, cells were inexpensive to make. Oh, there we go. I have lots of tin. It's just not in ingots. There, that's how much tin I had. So a lot of these things seem to I mean, there's definitely some things where the process takes the number of cells you put in and then puts various different things. Like we could empty out these cells into tanks and get the cells back. However, some processes, specifically thinking about the one where we're, using the blast furnace. Look at that, 64 steel dust. Okay, quest completed. We don't get the cells back, so we lose the 10 that we used to make the cells. We just get the steel dust. So that is a cost that you don't have when you are using more coal dust and iron and not using the industrial blast furnace. But I still think this is better. Alright, so almost. Lithium, sodium, lazurite. Okay, we needed... Okay. Alright, so that was processing 16 of the 32 clay dust. So here comes the other sodium cell. And there we go, there's the other 2 coolant cells. So, oh, and we don't need lithium. So we'll put potassium and 1 of the sodiums. It's not going to do anything until the other sodium's in there. So we'll be waiting just a minute. There we go. Sodium and then extra things. And there we go. Now, I guess the question is, what do we use these coolant cells for? So we use them to make better coolant cells. We use them to make overclocker upgrades. So the Tech Reborn machines can be increased for increased energy use. These coolant cells can be used to nothing. No use for that, okay. Okay, so it's interesting that hitting U on this does not show this recipe. There we go. And we do need to make capacitors. There we go. So we can pick up all of those. So we have 3 that are right at the same point. Hold on, that music's a little loud. Just can't win with the music. Okay, so we need capacitors to finish these engines. Capacitors. Fortunately, we grabbed a bunch of electron tubes. Unfortunately, I think I'm out of copper sheets. Fortunately, I have more copper. Alright, so let's make a few of those. I think those are kind of generally useful. So is that paper. I think on the last stream I had ran out of paper for making crude storage units. That's right. Alright, so we have capacitors. There we go. 3 engines for our industrial grinder. Now, I'm not sure if we have all the materials actually to make the blocks for the multi-block for this. I guess we're going to find out. Alright, industrial grinder. We are going to fit this somewhere here. I guess I can just keep going. Let's route the cable around. I mean, the cobblestone's not doing anything here other than the fact that... So in the middle of this multi-block for the blast furnace, there are a couple of bits of lava in the middle of it, and they were dripping, and I became concerned. Maybe unreasonably concerned, but it is a wood floor, even if it is a modded chipped wood floor. And I just would hate the idea that this would all, the floor would catch on fire and burn down. It probably wouldn't, but taking a precaution there. So anyway, my paranoia aside, we need some cables. Probably more than 3. Is 7 enough? Okay, so this should be... maybe like that, and then we'll put the grinder there. And then what this will allow us to do is show the hologram for the multi-block. Alright, and now we see the cable is in an opportune location. I think we can use the wrench for that. There we go. Alright, looks like we need... is that water? Maybe it's water. So, quests. Conveniently, this tells us we need... it says we need 18 standard machine casings. Potentially... I wonder if this is a case where the multi-plot goes... oh, no. This is 9, and this is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. Okay, yeah. And then 8 of these things, which are the advanced machine casing. Okay. So we need standard machine casing, and we need advanced machine casing. The advanced machine casing is made from the standard machine casing. So in total, we need 26 of these. What is 26 divided by 4? That doesn't divide evenly. Okay, well, anyway. I think... let's see if we have enough to make any, for starters. Maybe with iron sheets? I don't want to use silver when I can use iron. So let's make some iron sheets. Will 2 stacks be enough? That remains to be seen. Same deal. Alright, let's start with that. Okay, how many circuits do we have? 3. So we can make 8 more of these. Fortunately, foreseeing that we would need a lot more circuits, I made a bunch more, 22. Probably the most I've made in one go before. So how many did I say I needed in total? 24? 26. 26, yeah. Okay. Well, there's 12. And we need more basic machine frames. That we may have to queue up. Yep. So what are we short of here? Looks like we have lots of silver, and we could probably bring some more rubber over here. So let's plan on making 6 more. So we might be good there. Yeah, that should be good for now. Probably have to make more later. Doing good on fuel here as well. Now, how many times does this have to go around? 4 times. Alright, let's take 4 and find my way back through this mess. So 24. So we need to make 1 more set. Fortunately, it looks like we were only short on iron sheets, which is great. We still have 15 circuits left over for other things. And then for the 8 advanced ones, we need 8 steel plates. Oh, there's some steel dust in there we should take upstairs. And a steel block that we can turn into ingots. Huh, we had some steel. Interesting. Okay, compressor. 8 steel into 8 steel plates, yeah? Now, was this the thing that was bugged and gave the wrong kind of steel plate? No. Okay. So how many of these? I needed 8 of these, right? 6, 7, 8. It was, right? Because this is supposed to be Ad Astra steel plate, and it's given me Tech Reborn steel plate. Whoopsie. Okay. Well, I'll let this finish, and I'll trash these, and I'll use the command line to give myself the correct items. Because I have... Oh. What happened to my green screen? Oh, you know what it is? It's the screen over here is now so much brighter. It's thrown off the color key. Okay, well, just ignore that for a minute. Give Sabin Ad Astra steel plate 8. Okay, sounds like I got him. Interesting. Why? Why are you like this, camera? Okay. Oh look, we got the correct steel plates. All right, so the useless ones I'm gonna throw away. In the way I've discovered is really good at destroying things, which is just throwing them into the crushing wheels, never to be seen again. All right. Now with the Ad Astra steel plates, this will work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. So the quest here is kind of weird because it wants me to have raw iridium, which is quite impossible without the industrial grinder. But this is a prerequisite for completing this, so I don't get credit for this. What can you do? And I guess we need water. It's not quite night yet. Let me go out and get some water. I think it's kind of a missed opportunity that stepping into this sulfuric acid doesn't do anything. Alright. And night. Oh, there are monsters nearby. That's what I get for living on top of a cave. Okie dokie. So let's go make the machine so that we can make the iridium so that we can tear down the machine to get the credit. I guess. Aw, missed. That's fine, I had extra. Okie dokie. So, now we have an industrial grinder. Huzzah. Where is my crafting remote? Oh, it's on my hotbar. Iridium. IRI. Iridium. Apparently there's supposed to be a tank. Yeah, that makes sense. I should see if I have another bucket. Ooh, 2 buckets of water, handy. All right, let's set up a infinite water source here. Two, 3 block. Did I pick up that other block? Then why do I only have 2? Whatever. Aha, I can do that. Great. Let's get some water. Alright, 1 raw iridium. Iridium get. Find iridium ore into an industrial grinder to get raw iridium. So, huzzah. Now, that allows me to complete that. And now I need water buckets. Alright, and I need all of these blocks back, please. Disassemble the thing we just made. At least I can... There we go. I'll just put it right back. Super. And then... I can't use the wrench to break up the other blocks, unfortunately. So I'll just... This seems like... Either it's encouraging you to make multiple of these, which it's failing to do, or an oversight in the design of this quest. There it is. Alright, now... Ooh, look at all the calorite nuggets. Now, at some point, I should set up something to properly automate. Yeah, there we go again. Deferring automation. But yeah, at some point, set up proper automation to supply water to this thing. But, yeah, there we go. Calorite. Each calorite nugget gets us, I mean, obviously we can make an ingot. We can make a jet suit flashcard. Interesting. Okay, we can melt it. Huh. How do you make a calorite pen? That's a thing, right? Calorite pen? Oh, it is with the nugget in the roller. Okay. Cool. Right, and I wanted to put the steel in the box for later. And don't need those bookmarked anymore. Don't need that bookmarked anymore. Fusion controller is still a little ways out. I don't care about quadruple compressed gravel. Let's make the calorite ingot and pen. Let's make another rolling machine, I guess. Let's see, the deep slate calorite ore is also processed in a grinder. Much better result than using crushing wheels, but also needs water. Okie dokie. Right, rolling mill. We can't use the rolling machine, can we? Nope. Rolling mill. Okay. I got a few of these set up already, so I have another one. Okay. 2, 3, 4. How many pins do we need to make the thing? Looks like we need 9. 9 pins. So, in other words, an ingot. Right, I don't want to right click because it'll take all of the things. There we go. Lock that in place. Have this output to the back, auto output. And so this buffer is set up just to output into that storage and output into there to be processed with the Tesla coil. We're not doing the same thing here, so I'm just going to stack this right here, and we're going to input from the left, auto input. There we go. Okay, so we have 4, we want 5 more. There we go. Okay, lock that. Okay, it's locked now, so now I can take these out. But I'm ahead of myself because we need to make the ingot first to get credit. There we go. And we need 16 pens to get credit. Okay, fine. 9. Okay. 10. Terrific. All right, so we get about half an hour until the break. So what else can we do? Can we get to the matter fabricator? That might be challenging. So let's take a look at this. Now I have a question. The spout. Can we feed a spout directly from a Tech Reborn fluid tank without needing a pump? Because that would be more compact. It'd be easier to load. I mean, I guess you could pump, like have a create pump from the tank or something. But let's find out. So let's say we're gonna set up a belt. Have to set up a belt, and then we'll need a spout, a press, and 2 deployers. Hey, look, we have a spout and a press. And I know we have some of the stuff in like our toolboxes, but this is so much easier just to make it on the fly. All right, do we have all the pins? 13. Okay. Can we get nuggets back out? 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we will get those 16 pins that we need. There we go. Maybe that's the right toolbox. So actually, oh yeah, so I don't think I showed this on stream. This is something I made in between streams. So here's our integrated circuit into the Ostrom Advanced Integrated Circuit production. Advanced Integrated Circuit, there we go. But I was just thinking that maybe I could just put this storage unit over here. Like, this is the last step here. And then we'll configure the input to be from the bottom. Right? There we go. So we're taking the integrated circuit that we're making with the lapis plates. And hey, look, there's a couple right there. And then if we had electrified pins, they'd be put in there. And then we apply the Ostrom plate and then press it. And we pick it up here. And then what we can do is we can set up the next stage of the operation right here. And so we could theoretically either manually take the advanced integrated circuits and put them there, send them through, or something else. Okay, so steps here. Then we need to press. Oh, right. Okay, so we will need to have another belt or something. Yeah, something to take the incomplete items and send them back. But I'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, so then a press. Okay, I'm concerned that we're gonna run out of stress units, but cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's get up on top of this and change the order so that we can power all of those things in a single line. It'd be nice if the spout wasn't here, or if we could run the power through it. But that's not how this works. So, and that's the wrong box. Is it the gray one? So here's a thought. 0.5, 0.3, 0.2. So I think the cogwheels... Okay, to do this, do something like that, and then we need a gearbox. There we go. And overstressed. Of course. Oh, and of course, Right, when we overstress the system, we bring everything to a halt. Because we seize up the water input, so then we have to reset everything. So this is a very painful mistake. So I think very early on, when we were first setting up the Asterine and Viridium factory, I had initially powered that, not with a windmill, but with a steam engine. And that steam engine's water supply was powered separately by a windmill, specifically to avoid this sort of thing. And then I just sort of forgot about dealing with that since then, you know. So this is what happens if you... if the water supply for the boiler is powered by the boiler. It says this is overstressed. No, it's not. Okay, it was overstressed. Okay, so what to do about this? We could slow this down more. Right, if we do this, and then we get another big cog, a large cog wheel, and go even slower. And then we don't even need this gearbox. We just go over one, and small cog there, cog there. Oh, now we do, though. Oh, wait. Perfect. Right there. What a mess. It's great. Okay, now what I wanted to know was if we can get our hands on a Tech Reborn tank, which maybe we can make some of those. Just the basic tank unit, which revolves around having a basic storage unit, which needs a basic machine frame, which apparently we don't have, and then some crude storage units, which we can make since we made all that paper. Okay, so we need lithium, and my hope is that we can put the tank unit there, feed the lithium cells into there. Very handily, you can just right-click the cells and it goes into the tank. There we go, lithium. And then we can configure fluids. We're going to turn all of those off, and in the back we will set to pump out. Aha! There it is. All right, and then what are we deploying? Okay, so we're spouting, pressing, deploying, and we do that 9 times to get an industrial computing unit. So to make this work, we need to have something. We could just have another belt going the other way. Yes. Whoops. Belt going the other way. Let me out. Going over here. There we go. And that would allow us to have a belt coming here, just going 2 blocks, and then another belt here. And then what we would do, oh, we broke this. Are these, yeah, these are somewhat processed. Oh, there was a filter on that and I lost it when I broke the belt, unfortunately. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. I need to go... Okay, so for right now, until I can fix that filter, I'm going to take that off. And then I'll put this back the way it was. So this one was there first because it was sitting on the depot, and that one was unprocessed as of yet. So there we go. And I'm going to need a shaft there. We'll have a belt going to here and another belt this way. And I guess we need a brass tunnel to split the items. And we'll send them back over here to here. And we'll have another... Okay, let me get my toolbox out. Get some equipment. And there. Okay, so that'll be the loop. We have a brass tunnel. And then I think this will work if we set up that and a belt. There we go. Now we can control the filter on this. We'll need to put an actual filter here so we can say not the completed items on this one and the completed items on this one. So I'll have to sort that out. For now, what we can do is we can just put a filter of something that's not going to be on the belt to exclude it from coming out. Now we just need to power everything. We can extend this belt this way and potentially use a gearbox here. So if we had a gearbox and this is going this way, then the intermeshed gear on this side is going this way, which is what we want. And if this side of the gearbox is going this way, then this side of the gearbox is going the opposite way, which is bad because... No, it's good. It's good because this will be going this way. So this will be going... Yes. Do I have gearboxes in that box? Nope, it's in the light one, isn't it? When I put the toolboxes down, I need to put them together, or I will forget one. Okay, so I think the way this is arranged will have everything rotating in the right direction. Now there are these bits. Wait. No, that's right. Okay. I think this could work. If I were to power this side and connect that, and then can't do that. But if this were a vertical gearbox, then we would reverse the direction. Right, because you can see this is turning this way and we want it to go the opposite way. There we go. And now we have a conveyor belt that loops around. All right, easy as that. Okay, and we have the lithium, and we have it outputting. We will need to supply the materials for this. Where do we know? We already know that these are going to be calorite pens, so this can go there. What else do we know? We need machine parts. We need 9 machine parts to make this thing. Machine parts. I don't know if we have any of those left, but we have automation to make that, right? No, we have automation to make motors. How are the machine parts made? Oh yeah, they're done in the basin. Okay, machine parts. Nope. Okay, so we need to make some of those, like 2 batches, right? Because we need 9. Oh, so then we need 3 batches of this, because each one makes 4. Okay. And I think we will need a filter. Just a normal filter is good, not an attribute filter. Do we have no wool? Do we have string? Nope. Okay, do we have shears? Yep, a few of those. Alright, so we'll get some wool. Just ignore that box. We're not dealing with that now. Gonna need some wire for the machine parts. And we need electrified pens for the circuits. So we need some gold nuggets. Now, do we have gold? We have a little gold. Let's start with 2 stacks. Should be enough. One in you, and an even amount. There we go, 63 and 63. So those will go through, and we'll get some electrified pens. Ooh. Should not sit with my legs crossed. Foot's going numb. Okay, well, let's take these up while I think. I guess while the electrified pens are being processed, I can go and shear some sheep. Shear some sheep. Yes. Let it be done. I think it'll go straight. Straight and down and over the low bridge on the other side of the track here. It's been a little while since I've been over here, specifically for the farm. Let's grab a bunch of wool. Might be my last time here. I don't know. Now, at some point, there is going to be... I've heard, it's been said, that there will be a next version of Create Astral, this mod pack. And I imagine at some point I will play it. Now, will that be a new playthrough? A continuation of this one? Some of that's going to depend on what form the update takes, like how much gets changed. So who could say, really? If nothing else, I imagine I'll have learned a lot of things. I have learned a lot of things, and some of those things will apply to the new version. I don't know. On the one hand, having kind of a spread out build like all of this is great. It's very if I would have had more time when I started playing this pack, And I mean, I put in a lot of time, but if I had all the time and kind of sufficient amounts of inspiration to like do more builds, more trains, more interconnections, more stuff, and really, like at the end of this pack, as an example, thinking of like FTB Inferno, where there's like, oh, we need to make the singularities. Well, I mean, I guess even in this, there is the recycling and the UU mat, or the astral refined shimmer and all of that stuff, where you're dumping in a bunch of items. But at least in that other pack, there was a need to have a bunch of everything, and so there's you knew basically from pretty early on that you were going to need to have everything automated to produce everything. And there's not been that kind of demand. Like, I've not seen at the end of the tunnel of playing through the pack that, oh, it's not going to be good enough to just like manually make things and carry things around. And having that as an excuse has made me not as motivated to automate everything all the time, everywhere. What was I making? What was oh yeah, for a filter. We're gonna need some filters. I feel like I probably have some filters in a toolbox, but now we have some filters. I don't think I need those blocks on me. What else are we doing? We are... Oh yeah, we were waiting for the electrified pens. That's right. We got 109 of them. That'll be enough to finish this first circuit that's queued up. It's a bit slower now because everything is running at half the speed it used to be. But that's fine. So when this stops applying, then we'll have the item that we can use to apply as a filter on the brass funnel. At least it's, I assume that's what I had set up before. This might take a minute. We have some Ostrom plates. We have one Ostrom plate. Perfect. We can make one more advanced integrated circuit, which should get picked up by the crude storage unit here. And then we'll be able to pick that up and throw it on the belt, and it will pass through all of this. What do we need here? Oh yeah, machine parts. We should get on that. So I need a couple steel plates and some carbon mesh. I should probably fix the steel plate recipe, given that it makes the wrong kind. Okay, in the meantime, let's go up here and get this stuff prepped. One thing we need to do is turn off the auto output, because we will not be producing steel now. We're going to be throwing in carbon mesh, copper wire, and our steel plates that we're not going to be making here, since we get the wrong kind of steel plates. Alright. Oops. So, let's sacrifice these 3 steel plates and get the right kind. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter if I throw them away or not, since Let's see. Give Sabin add Astra steel plate 3. Oh, I heard the sound. There we go. 3 plates. Doesn't matter if I throw them away since they are completely useless. You can't do anything with them. But, you know, just to demonstrate there is no shenanigans. None at all. Not a single one. Not a single shenanigan. Alright, so then we put that there, and that's actually the wrong thing. So incomplete electronic circuit is the item that's produced by applying all of the pins. So that's what gets filtered there. And so when I put this on the depot, it goes right through and gets processed. And this guy goes on there and will get processed properly. That gets pressed and it gets pulled into here, hopefully. Perfect. And then we're gonna throw that on there and we're gonna get lithiumed. Now, how many times does this go around? Oh, also, that's not the right thing. Hold that thought. The steel plates goes into this process to get turned into machine parts. I got slightly confused there. I don't know why. This is such a simple thing. Crank that just a little bit. Alright, so what are we making again? We are making the next set, the next kind of computational circuit thing. So we had the integrated circuit and then the advanced integrated circuit, and now we're having the chapter 5 version of that. Whatever that was called, I forget. Okay. Alright, 12 machine parts. I got some wire back and got a lot of hunger. Now, can we make that electric motor yet? Potentially. We can make the capacitors. We could probably make the copper spools. Yep, checks out. The bronze sheet. Do we have any bronze at all? Bronze. We got 6. Alright, let's make 2 sheets. And we can make an electric motor so that we can power our steel / whatever production. Brilliant. Since I'm down here, I'll just go over here and do it. Motor. Generating rotational force using electric motors. So we supply power, it generates rotational force, yes? Right, what we have elsewhere is an alternator that does the opposite, right? That's what these are. Alternators. They take rotational energy and make electricity. Now we're going to do the opposite. Some of the designs I experimented were things that we're probably not going to see in this playthrough. Involve using electric motors and delivering electricity to places, and then generating the rotational force in place. What was he doing with it? Oh yeah, we're going over here. I'm gonna put that there, and then we need a cable. And I'm using just the insulated gold ones. They have up to 512 energy per tick transfer rate. I think that's overkill. Like we're not hitting that, but I think the different kinds of cables don't interconnect together is the thing. Okay, so now I think we can configure this output to auto output again. And if we grab a bucket of fuel. I just want to see if this is going to... Yeah, it immediately pours as it produces. So when this fills up and solidifies, will the steel block be pulled out and put in the crude storage unit? Now let's double check the redstone. Ignored. Okay. So the next thing to do would be to set up a deployer. No, a mechanical arm to apply the fuel to the blaze burner to keep it superheated. Okay, so we have a steel block. It did not get pulled out. That is too bad, but not the end of the world. What we're going to do instead is we're going to get a depot. I guess I didn't have any, but a depot and a funnel. Just a simple andesite funnel will do. And then what we'll do is break this. Break into the floor. We're going to put that there. I think we can put the funnel there. No good? Aw, I thought that would work. Why? Input right auto input. Didn't I do this before? Huh, that's too bad. Oh, it did work. Except as it doesn't see it worked. It's fun. Oh, right, because of the... Okay, okay. There's two. It did work. Can we... put a block right here and power this. Yes. Okay, so this is a visual glitch that happens when you use the Tech Reborn storage units to pull items out. But it did pour, and if we superheated this, this would continue to work. So that is really what I wanted to establish. Okay. Anyway, back to the thing we were doing. So this is machine parts and calorite pins. So we put machine parts there, it gets applied, pin is applied, it goes in a loop, goes back around. This will take a few minutes, but we should have more than 9 of everything and lots of lithium. So we should be able to produce our first industrial computing unit. And with that, I think it's a really good time to take a little break. First I'll sleep in game and get myself to a safe place. And then once that happens, I'm going to switch the screen over to the BRB screen. I'm going to get up and get some water, stretch my legs, and I'll be coming back in a few minutes and playing another hour and a half or so of Create Astral.